the mass casualty situation of the Civil War cannot be handled by the Army Medical Corps.
Right.
You need, so women step into the breach. And, women prove themselves so well during the war in the hospitals, on the field, wherever they are. Not that there are many on the field, but survival rates go up.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios,
you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm sure you are. And if you're not, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you're joining us, and I hope we can take your mind off of whatever ails you for the time being. Welcome to Addressing Gettysburg, and today there's a new book out that we think you're going to enjoy because we think you enjoyed the last book by this author, which we enjoyed. I forget the name of. We Fought at Gettysburg.
There you go.
And that's pretty good because I usually forget the names of books.
Well, here you go.
And
you
boom.
Want one of those?
Here. Oh gosh, Jesus! It's made of granite. But this is the book that we're talking about. We Fought at Gettysburg. Now, it's not what we're talking about today. This is the one I'm referring to. This is the one that came up before. It's about 17th Connecticut, right?
Right.
17th Connecticut, and it's great because it's got firsthand accounts in it. And I don't know about you, but as much as I appreciate the work historians have done over the years of writing these books that are, a narrative of the battle and everything like that, I am loving that books like these are coming out more and more every day because that's how you get the story, right?
I think so.
And you're kind of doing the same idea with this new book.
Absolutely.
It's called Cornelia Hancock, Civil War. It's if you're watching this widespread, it's out now, and you can get it probably
anywhere that books are sold.
Anywhere that books are sold, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you get a 20% discount if you get them from For the Historian here in Gettysburg. Mm-hmm. But so it's told through her letters.
Yes.
And let's see, I got some notes here that I'm going to look at. I don't often do, but I'm going to do it now. So Cornelia, she is, let's see, she was 23 at the time of the battle.
23.
She nursed men of the 2nd Corps.
Yep.
And then came to Gettysburg to do this.
Right.
And then stuck with the Army until the Grand Review.
Yes. Except for a brief interlude at the Contraband Hospital in Washington, D.C. It was very difficult to get posted to the front. Most nurses nursed from hospitals in like Washington, D.C. or big cities. Very few women went out into the front. And Cornelia is going to be one of those people. Well, many women did at Gettysburg, because the battlefield was all over town and all over on the outskirts. She winds up at the 2nd Corps hospital at the Schwartz Farm. It's the biggest hospital in Gettysburg after the battle, about 3,200, sorry about that, 3,200 men at the Schwartz Farm off Hospital Road. The entrance to the farm is on the Goulden Road. It's pretty obscure. The farm has been
like on the other side of 15, isn't it?
The farm has been off limits to everybody since the last owner, who was relatively friendly with the historical community. Mm-hmm. So it's been closed up since probably the early 2000s.
Okay. That's why. Yeah, I remember seeing a marker over there once, but
The entrance to the farm is not where the marker is on Hospital Road.
Okay. Yeah, because there's I had a friend who lived on Hospital Road, mm-hmm. and it was the 12th Corps hospital.
That's Bushman, I believe.
Bushman, yes.
Yeah, Bushman Farm, yeah.
Right across the street from the Bushman Farm, and the name is escaping me who lived there, but it was like an overflow. It was used too.
Yeah,
it just doesn't have a marker. And so that was, I never had a need to go further than that house. And so one day I was like, let me see what's further down this road. And so I went exploring, and I went over the overpass over 15 and continued along. And there I saw a marker for another hospital. I was like, well, how do you like that?
That's why they call it Hospital Road.
That makes sense. There's a bunch of them there. So this book, though, is a little different. So you're telling her story through her letters.
Yes.
But you're also telling the other half, as you call it, of the story, which is the doctor's story.
The doctor's story.
The men that she worked with. So how are you doing that? Is it when she mentions someone, then you talk about his life and whatnot?
So the letters had been published originally in 1937, 10 years after her death.
Okay.
Becomes a bestseller, and it gets a lot of press. There's another edition published in, I believe it was 57. Bruce Catton, who knows the value of a good story, writes the foreword. And the new 57 edition includes some of her post-Civil War correspondence when she was working with freedmen in South Carolina.
Okay.
Then the book does so well that the publisher authorizes a youth biography, and then nothing for quite a long time. In 97, 1997, Bison Press issues, in fact, I have it right here, this copy, paperback copy of her Civil War letters, and that's what everyone reads. Nothing's been done since then. And as you know, I'm pretty obsessed with Cornelia Hancock because you've had me on the show before to talk about her.
Yeah.
And I always felt that they're very compelling. Her writing's very compelling. She writes on the spot. Mm-hmm. It's not post-war, rehashed, run through memories and emotions. She's writing on the spot. So I think the letters are really interesting for that reason. And but the letters are just published as letters. There's no context. There's no framing of the letters. And the story is so rich that I thought that I would do some of what I did when we fought at Gettysburg and frame her letters through what was going on around her, the events, the people, and so we have a what I will call a story of her world, the world that she's writing inside of. So I hope I was successful.
Did you find in talking about these other people around her that they might have made mention of her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or they wrote to her, which is something that was not at all part of this book. But I did include not only some of the family that wrote to her, but other patients, other doctors writing to her during the war as she's writing also.
What kind of person was she? She had like a Quaker upbringing?
Yeah, she was a Quaker. She was a Hicksite Quaker, which is a sect that believes even more deeply than most Quakers that you're going to follow your inner light. You don't need anybody interpreting scripture for you. Everybody has access to whether it's God or providence or whatever. You don't need anybody to interpret for you.
Well, maybe I'm a Quaker.
Not.
What is it? A Shiksa Quaker?
A Shiksa Quaker. I used to work for an Orthodox Jewish school. I probably shouldn't tell the story, but I used to work at an Orthodox Jewish school part time, and because my Nick's name is not Ivanoff, they were unsure whether I was Jewish or not until one day the rabbi was talking to me and my crucifix on the chain popped out. then they knew for sure I was one of those shiksas, But
what's it really called? A what? Hicksite?
A Hicksite Quaker.
Hicksite Quaker. I think that's what I am then.
You are.
Do I have to go to church?
No.
Yeah, but I still believe in God. Yeah. And I kind of follow my own heart.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really sure what she believed in, to tell you the truth. Her family were not only Hicksite Quakers, not only Quakers, but they were spiritualists. She was not.
Okay.
But, spiritualism is a movement that sweeps through the 19th century. And she probably was not.
That's interesting. Okay, so what is it that makes her
unique?
Well, no. I mean, well, yeah, I guess, but specifically, what is it that makes her leave her comfortable home in New Jersey? By the way, the interesting thing about her family home in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And for those of you who've watched the show for a while, you might recall that we interviewed a fella named Samuel Rukin, and he was on a TV show called Turn, in which he played a character named Captain, and then I think he got up to Colonel in the show, John Graves Simcoe. And I want to read something to you here. So Cornelia's family, it's called Handcock House. It's in New Jersey.
Yep, Hancock's Bridge, New Jersey.
Hancock's Bridge, New Jersey. A lot of Hancock in this whole story. Because like Winfield Scott Hancock, right? Hancock's Bridge, Hancock House, the Hancock Hill.
No relation to Winfield.
No relation.
No.
So this is in 1778, I guess, while Washington's at Valley Forge with the army down there. Let's see here. I'll read it here. Let me go to, let's see here. Okay. Her ancestral home, Handcock House, became notable because of a March 20th, 1778 massacre that occurred there. The 18th century, largely Quaker population of Salem County, New Jersey, were opposed to violence and armed conflict, yet many supported the American Revolutionary cause in the Continental Army. During the Valley Forge winter of 1777, when the Continental Army was camped at Valley Forge and the British occupied Philadelphia, both armies needed food. The British foraging activities met with considerable resistance from the Salem County militia and local patriots. The Americans repulsed the British under General Charles Mawood at Quinton's Bridge. The British were frustrated and angry with the people of Salem County for their support of the Continental Army. And on March 20th, 1778.
Those are just my notes.
These are typos.
Oh, okay.
I'll correct it for you with a pen.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. 1778, Mawood issued orders to bring two British troops to, quote, go spare no one, put all to death, give no quarters. These orders were carried out on March 21st, 1778, when local Tories and their slaves acted as guides to Major John Graves Simcoe. And 300 British troops attacked the Hancock House. Everyone inside was bayoneted. Among the 10 killed and 5 wounded was Cornelia's great-grandfather, Judge William Handcock, and he died several days later. The house still retains its Revolutionary War frame as a place of British massacre of patriots. It's now part of the New Jersey State Park system. That is very interesting. Very interesting, because I don't know a lot about the Revolution. I don't know a lot about Captain Simcoe, except for what I saw in Turn, and he seemed like a real bastard. And apparently...
He was a big hero in Canada.
Yes, he was. Apparently, he wasn't as big a bastard as they make him out to be in the TV show. But this sounds pretty bastardly here, what he did here. And here, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, is...
Release the captain, please.
That's Captain Simcoe.
So I just started talking like that.
How he made the voice. Okay, but I digress. Forgive me.
So anyway, she's got great patriotic roots.
Yeah.
They are patriots. They're pacifists. Quakers are pacifists. But many of them support the American Civil War because they're viewing it as a war for freedom. They're also ardent abolitionists, and they believe that the war, even before the Emancipation Proclamation, is going to be a war for freedom for the slaves. So a lot of young Quaker men, like her brother and all her cousins, enlist. Well, she wants to enlist as well, which is not possible for her as a young woman. She
She wants to enlist as a soldier, you're saying?
She wants to do something for her country.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And she works for the Ladies Aid Association, and she does all kinds of patriotic things from the home front, but it's not enough for her. She's looking for more, and she wants to break the mold, and she wants to go into service. Now, as long as she is working as a nurse during the war, she believes she's as much of a soldier as any of her cousins, her brother, as anyone who's taken the oath and is in the Army. And time again, she writes that she is in the Army. She writes to her mother, your child is in the Army. And she is, deeply patriotic, deeply and fearlessly committed to the soldiers of the Army of the Potomac, and will do just about anything to help them, to heal them, to comfort them. And she serves basically, as you said, and as the title of the book states, from Gettysburg to the Grand Review.
Hey, buddy. What's got you so down?
Hey, Court. I'm looking for a gift, but I just don't know what to get my Gettys nerd friends and family.
It sounds like we need to have a talk. Come on. You love this place, don't you?
You bet I do. It's my favorite place in the world.
Well, you see, at Addressing Gettysburg, it's our mission to keep these stories alive.
How do we do that?
I'm glad you asked, sport. You see, Gettysburg is the gateway to the most brutal and crucial time in American history, so we interview experts, and our listeners learn with us.
That sounds amazing.
It is! Mike, are you f***ing serious?
What? It's for the commercial. What benefits do patrons get?
You mean besides up to 4 premium episodes per month and Matt being the bee's knees as host? Huh. How about early access to special episodes, behind-the-scenes insights, and discounts for ticketed events?
Whoa! None of the other history channels I follow do that for their listeners.
That's because Addressing Gettysburg doesn't take its listeners for granted and really cares about us learning American history.
You know, I should gift my Gettys nerd friends and family an Addressing Gettysburg Patreon membership.
You see, the answer was right under your nose the entire time.
Make Addressing Gettysburg's Patreon a gift for the Gettys nerd in your family this holiday season. Addressing Gettysburg wants you to learn about the Civil War with us, and we need your support. We'll run this ad until it gets annoying, and then we'll run it until you become a patron at patreon.com/addressinggettysburg or by scanning the QR code on your screen. Happy holidays.
The hell are we staring at?
No idea.
So does she just hear that there was this big horrible battle in Pennsylvania and go, oh, that's accessible? Or what brings her to Gettysburg? Why does she want to come here and help?
What brings her to Gettysburg is it's her first opportunity. Her brother-in-law is a very well-known Quaker philanthropist, abolitionist, part of the Freedmen's, the anti-slavery movement, very well known in Philadelphia. And she says to him, I want to do something. I don't want to do it at home. I want to do something. And he does take her very seriously, and he promises to call her at the first opportunity. And the first opportunity,
didn't have phones then.
Right? They
so
didn't.
He was lying.
He wrote. They wrote.
Called on her.
Call me.
Okay.
Call me.
Yeah.
So Gettysburg just happens to be the first opportunity. We
So he summons her. He basically says, come down and help me.
He basically summons her. He sends his carriage for her.
Oh, that was nice.
On a 4th of July excursion boat.
The traffic must have been a nightmare.
Yes, and he sends his carriage for her, and he his carriage brings her to Philadelphia.
And then she takes the train out?
With him and a bunch of other relief workers that he has gathered together.
Oh, okay. So he's not in Gettysburg with the regiments?
No, he is not. He is not. He's in Philadelphia.
Okay. So he says, hey, come on out, help. She goes to Philly, then they head down to Gettysburg together.
Yes.
So when she gets to Gettysburg, where does she first go? Does she go to Christ Lutheran?
She goes to Dr. The guy across from... See, why do I ask you
questions you don't have the answers to?
Yeah, I know. I should have.
Yeah, I highlighted it. They went to Dr. Horner.
Dr. Horner's house, yes. Across the street from Christ Lutheran. And so that is on July 6th. The evening of July 6th, she goes across the street to the church, which is a hospital. She has stamps and paper in her hand. The wounded are, they're laid across the pews on anything that can cross the pews.
You want me to read her
description?
You
can read her description since you have it.
All right. I stole your notes. Sorry.
That's okay. I have tip of the tongue syndrome. See, you always complain that you're old.
Yes.
Well, I'm old enough to be your mother.
Yes.
And I have tip of the tongue syndrome so frequently.
Yeah, but I have that too. So what does that mean? Like it means advanced for my age?
No, it probably
like everybody's like, oh, you say you're old, but you're so young. I have this, I have that. And I go, yeah, me too. Now what?
It doesn't get any better. That's what.
I see your arthritis and raise it some gout.
It does not get any better.
Okay.
I think I have another set of different notes.
Well, here, while you're looking, I'll
I have it right here. Okay.
So she says we arrived. What?
How about if I read it?
Okay, you read it.
All right.
So
she goes across the trail. They are my notes. This is from one of her letters. She's writing on the 7th to her niece, and she goes, we went the same evening to one of the churches, that was Christ Lutheran, where I saw for the first time what war meant. Hundreds of desperately wounded men were stretched out on boards laid across the high-back pews as closely as they could be packed together. The boards were covered with straw. Thus elevated, these poor sufferers, faces white and drawn with pain, were almost on a level with my own. She's about 5 feet tall.
Oh, okay. So she's
not a big person. I seemed to stand breast high in a sea of anguish. Too inexperienced to nurse, I went from one pallet to another with pencil, paper, and stamps in hand, and spent the rest of that night in writing letters from the soldiers to their families and friends. To many mothers, sisters, and wives, I penned the last message of those who were soon to become the beloved dead.
Oh, and so does this? I mean, obviously, maybe not obviously, but at this point, I'm guessing she doesn't even really know what to make of all this to write down how it is affecting her.
No.
Right?
No. She writes this on the night of July 7th.
So she gets there on the 7th. The 6th.
She gets there on the 6th. She goes to the church on the night of the 6th. She goes immediately to the 2nd Corps Hospital at the Jacob Schwartz Farm on July 7th, the morning of July 7th. And on the evening of July 7th, after they come back to Dr. Horner's house, she writes her first letter from Gettysburg.
So she has no medical background, right? There's a part we skipped over when she's in Philadelphia. Is that where she is rejected by Dorothea Dix?
No, they're in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
They had taken the train from Philadelphia to Baltimore.
Okay.
And Dix is in the train station at Baltimore. And she approves everybody that Dr. Child has assembled. There were older ladies with him. He had doctors with him and a ton of supplies, as many supplies as he could bring. And she spies Cornelia, and Cornelia is immediately rejected. Now, Cornelia is with another woman, very well known in the United States. She's a reformer. Her name is Eliza Farnham. Eliza Farnham and Dorothea Dix move in the same circles. Eliza Farnham had been, a reformer for the insane, like Dorothea Dix, for prisoners. She had actually been the matron at Sing Sing Prison, the women's section of the prison. So Dorothea Dix and Eliza Farnham are immediately clashing over Cornelia, and it gets quite hot and heavy. Cornelia, this is typical of her. She learns very quickly, probably as a child, that you don't get mad, you don't get even, you just get your way. Cornelia likes her way. Mm-hmm. And so very quietly, she lets them go at it. She just gets on the train and sits there. And then the train pulls out. She's really doesn't care what conclusion they have come to, because she is going.
Firecracker, this one.
You betcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, you betcha.
But I like her style. I would do the same thing.
Me too.
You're telling me I can't go and take care of the wounded that you can't supposedly keep up with? You're getting so many of them, but I can't go. Why? Because I'm young and pretty?
Because she has rosy cheeks.
Please. Please. I mean, that is interesting. So I was recently doing another podcast, and we were reviewing North and South. Oh, yeah. And there's a similar situation with Kirstie Alley's character, and it's with Dorothea Dix, if I'm not mistaken. And she's kind of like, nah, you're a little too pretty, and whatever. And she's like, well, why can't I? So I mean, it's a real thing. But I wonder now if John Jakes based that on Cornelia Hancock.
I'll bet you he did.
Yeah.
I'll bet you he did. There were I talk about it in the book. There were several glaring, very similar to Cornelia's experience, that Dix pulled on several very well-known, young, dedicated nurses. One was Helen Gilson. I don't know if you've ever heard of her.
No.
There were several instances very, very similar to Cornelia's. But Cornelia was rejected because she was pretty and she had rosy cheeks.
So that seems to be the real problem, is the rosy cheeks.
Yeah. And oddly enough, there are firsthand accounts of her by wounded and a hospital steward at the Schwartz farm. So her good work is witnessed and commented on. And hospital steward Charles Merrick from the 8th Ohio does mention her in glowing terms. And he mentions her ruddy complexion.
Oh, really?
So she must have had very rosy cheeks.
Wow. Okay.
You're not going to see
make it out.
I
in the
colored
picture.
that picture, so that's a black and white picture that
that you colored.
I colored, yes.
Okay. Well, you can't tell.
I did not use AI to color that.
Thank you. Thank you. The one thing though that you do see in her photograph, and do we know? We don't know when that was taken.
No, we don't. There's some speculation it was actually taken after the war, shortly after the war, of course, because judging by her dress, she's in mid 1860s style.
Oh, that's interesting.
Clothing.
Okay,
but unadorned, of course, the very plain dress. However,
but she looks like she's 14.
She looks very young.
She doesn't look, and so she's 23 at Gettysburg.
She's 23 at Gettysburg, yes.
And then 25 or so, 26 at the end of the war.
Right.
But if that's her at the end of the war, I mean,
I know
she looks like she's 10 years younger.
They don't know. No, but this picture is pirated constantly. It is by rights, and you can see that it's marked. It's in the New Jersey Historical Society.
Okay.
I use this with their permission, of course.
Perfect.
And but it's pirated. Everybody just uses it for whatever they want. It is not in the public domain.
See, that's interesting.
But everybody just assumes it's in the public
because it's
domain.
old.
I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's a Civil War picture. All these people are dead. Nobody could own it, but they don't understand that's not how that works.
No, it's copyrighted.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they own the original, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
they're the ones who made the copies, the original copies.
Yes. They made the copy for me.
Right. So they own the copyright.
Right.
That's how that works.
Right.
I learned that from Tim Smith because he was upset that somebody used a book that he
with no permission,
with a photograph in their book that he said I own, and I said, how do you own it? You weren't even born when that was taken. And he's like, I own the original, and it was never published until I published it.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize that's how that works.
Well, just so you know, everybody uses this, but it is not in the public domain.
Well, there you go, folks. So if you see her picture, and I won't be using it on the thumbnail of this video.
I think you could do that.
I don't want to get in trouble. We'll use Dorothea Dix instead.
It's a dragon.
So the Dr. Horner, so he's a local doctor.
Yes.
And so does she latch onto him or is he
her
working
brother-in-law knows him.
Okay.
They're the contact in Gettysburg. Dr. Child knows him. Dr. Child is a lot of contact. We don't know much about Dr. Child, but Dr. Child has many, many contacts. And she's going to use those contacts during the war to, again, get her way. She likes her way. Mostly getting her way means getting official military passes to go serve in military hospitals. Mm-hmm. So she knows through her brother-in-law, Secretary of War Stanton. She knows a bunch of powerful senators and representatives, and she's not hesitant to go visit them.
And when she comes in, they're not putting her to work as a nurse right away.
Immediately. The morning of the 7th of July, the 2nd Corps Hospital, they put a few women in an ambulance. And, the 2nd Corps Hospital is huge. The reason she wants to go to the 2nd Corps Hospital is because the 12th New Jersey, they were right on the angle, the Buck and Ball Regiment, are cousins and community members, and so she wants to go to them specifically.
She wants to see.
She wants to help people from her community, and so that's why she winds up at the 2nd Corps Hospital.
At Digital History Pioneers Foundation, we are about grassroots history on digital platforms. That means we are about podcasters, documentarians, YouTubers, and even TikTokers. All of these creators are out there trying to share their love of history with the public. They don't need ideas, they need funding, both from viewers and corporate donors. DH Pioneer's initial funding focus is on the Civil War era, with a special emphasis on the Addressing Gettysburg podcast. So be a vital part of the unique content Addressing Gettysburg has in store by donating at dhpioneers.com and help bring your love of history to the people. Digital History Pioneers is an IRS Section 501c3 approved charitable corporation that makes any donation tax deductible to the fullest extent of the law.
And she does go to work immediately.
So, but you say she goes to work immediately as a nurse.
What's a nurse in the Civil War?
Well, so that's what I'm getting at is what is she doing exactly?
During the Civil War, there's no such thing as professional female nurses. Now, Dix is hiring nurses. Most nursing care is palliative care, if you pronounce it that way.
That's the way they say it on the commercials.
That's what they say. So it's palliative. So what are they going to be doing? At first, they're going to be doing comfort care. They're not, at first, at the Schwartz farm, she's not washing men. She's not treating wounds. She will later in the war. She's, at first, feeding them, and she is writing letters for them. And in fact, the two primary source accounts that we have of her being at Schwartz Farm, she's writing letters for the men.
Okay.
During the war, I mean, we've gone over this previously and with you and I and
Veronica and Bethany
and there is no professional female nursing until after the Civil War. For the Army, nurses are detailed private soldiers who are ordered to care for their comrades. It's like pulling a duty like KP. You're going to be a nurse today.
Yeah.
Many times they are sick themselves or they've been wounded themselves. The care is horrible. And and they're overwhelmed and it doesn't do much good. So Dix, of course, to her credit, convinces the Surgeon General that he needs women to solve this problem. Now, women are not wanted at first, and for some, not at all throughout the war.
Now, I'm sorry, wait, let's stop you there. When you say he needs women to solve this problem, does he mean in the field?
Yeah,
okay,
everywhere.
Because they're all back at hospitals,
right. But
not in the field.
They need them in the hospitals too. They need them everywhere. The mass casualty situation of the Civil War cannot be handled by the Army Medical Corps.
Right.
You need, so women step into the breach, and mostly for various reasons, it's improper. You're not. Who are these women? They're going into the field or going to these hospitals. They're touching strange men. Go home, nurse your family. Don't, it's very 19th century. I'm skimming over a lot, but the bottom line is women proved themselves so well during the war in the hospitals, on the field. They do what women do in the 19th century. They wash clothes. They wash the floors. They wash the patients. They feed them good food. And everywhere women go, in the hospitals, on the field, wherever they are, not that there are many on the field, but survival rates go up. And they make their dedication felt. And the veterans especially will never forget these women. And so, I always tell this story. Before the Civil War, there are no professional female nurses except a handful of Catholic nuns. And they're not professionals. They're just dedicated sisters. Right. They're dedicated to the ill and the poor. And so if you were arrested for prostitution in New York City, you were given three choices. You could pay the fine. Hardly any of them had the money. You could do the time. Almost all of them did. Or you could work off your time for a limited sentence nursing at Bellevue Hospital. Now, nobody wanted to do that.
God, I'd rather go to jail.
After the war, I believe it was in 1872. Now, there were nurses training programs like there was one in New York. Georgiana Woolsey will go through it. It's like a 4-week program, and it's designed to teach women how to handle basically the smells and the distress it's not really a nursing program as we know it.
They're not teaching you how the body works. They're not teaching you how to suture a wound.
Not at all. Not at all.
They're just you're basically a comfort woman.
Right.
I mean, not in the sense of a prostitute, but you're there to give comfort to these wounded men.
These wounded men. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Palliative care.
Right.
And so anyway, she is determined. And from the very first morning, now what does she do the first morning? Second Corps Hospital there's 3,200 guys laying around the fields of. I can't even imagine.
No,
that.
I can't either. That's why I shook my head.
And there's no supplies. There's no shelter. There's no tents. Food comes in on a wagon, and not very much food either. There are no utensils. So she sees a couple of loaves of bread, and she sees a couple of jars of jelly. And she starts breaking the bread into little tiny pieces that she can feed to the wounded. She finds a stick and she starts spreading jelly with the stick. And so she starts getting that out there. She uses a shingle as a tray to carry it around to the wounded. She then sees a wagon.
Crafty.
Yeah, she's very crafty. And she then sees a wagon come in, so supplies start to come in. It's the 7th. Now, these guys have had nothing since they've been wounded. Some of them are wounded, on the 2nd.
I know. Or the first, maybe.
Maybe not
the first.
not the Second Corps.
Yeah, true. But still, those guys.
There's
7
no
days.
wood. It's just horrid. So anyway, she sees this wagon come in, and it's got some kind of liquor and evaporated milk in cans. So she starts puncturing the cans. She starts pouring out she makes a milk punch, and then she gets it back into the bottles and the cans that she's used, and she starts carrying that to the men. So those are her first experiences.
23 years old.
23 years old.
Tad's 23 years old. I can't imagine him in this situation doing anything like that.
Well,
he would sit and wait for the right things to come to him. Right, Tad?
Well, how about when we get to the doctor's story? We might not get there today.
Okay.
But you've got to get me here for the doctor's story, because Dr. Dudley, the guy she writes about and works with and works for in the Second Corps hospitals throughout the war after Gettysburg. Dr. Dudley is 21 years old. He's a major. He's a surgeon. He's wounded at Gettysburg.
Wow.
And throughout the war, by the time he's discharged, he's been a prisoner twice. He's been wounded. He's 23 years old when the 14th Connecticut is discharged in June of 1865. It's a lifetime.
Yeah.
A lifetime.
Yeah.
And so, we say she's 23, and to us that sounds young.
It's not.
But that's not young during Civil War.
You were an old maid if you weren't married by 23.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
You were.
No, I know. It's a different day and age and a different way
Much
of looking
different.
at ages and those steps of life that, we prolong childhood way too. I think we're up to 38 now. You don't actually have to get off your parents' insurance till you're 38.
Is that so?
I think so. And I don't think, yes, and I don't think you have to really you don't have to stop dressing up for Halloween. I don't know. What is it? What? Is it still 26?
It's 26.
It's still stupid. But they,
It
you
is
don't-
20.
you don't have to do much of anything.
But you know what? The 19th century, let's face it, there's no concept of being a teenager.
Right.
Really, this whole teenage thing is, this
20th
is our
century.
gift from World War II,
Yeah,
the 50s and this idea about being a teenager and a childhood. Well, many children in the 19th century have really no childhood like we would think of a childhood.
It really is ridiculous how
world.
spoiled we all are. And we've only had this way of thinking for less than 100 years. Yeah. Like 80 years. Right. Yeah. It's so new to the human experience, yet we think it's.
So we make much of her 23 years.
Yes.
She will as well, especially in the beginning when she talks about Dorothea Dix, because, Dix wanted every female caregiver to be of middle age. Mm-hmm. She did not want young chicks scrounging the army for us.
So is that what that's about? That it's more about the young chicks falling in love with their patients and not their patients falling in love with...
It's about both sides.
Both. Okay.
She does not want caregivers that are not middle-aged because of the impropriety of it all.
Sure.
It's the 19th century. Social strictures are extremely rigid. Women don't travel alone without an escort.
Mm-hmm.
Women certainly don't go into field hospitals where these men are just laying out there. Many of these guys were limited clothing, their clothes. There were areas that they would not allow the women to go because the guys had no clothes.
Yeah.
They had been blown off or ripped off or, it's beyond imagining. You get these descriptions, and there are a couple of descriptions in the book about conditions at the Second Corps Hospital. They are beyond description.
Can you give us an example?
Well, I can give you a couple of examples.
We don't want to give it all away.
I might even have one written down here.
That'd be great.
Let me just see what we have here.
And while you're looking, for the record, let me just say, I only tease Tad. Tad is a very not typical for his age young person. I just wanted to say, It's all a joke, Tad. Okay, you don't have to get weird. It's just say thank you.
Say thank you, Tad.
Say thank you, and don't ever make the heart symbol with your hands again.
From the bottom of his heart.
There we go.
Well, I do not have my quote, but it is.
Damn it, Carolyn.
Damn it, Carolyn. Yeah, what the hell? Well, I will tell you this, that of all here, I'll throw this little piece in. Gettysburg held a lot of reunions.
Yeah.
A lot of caregivers came back. She came back. She came back for the 50th anniversary. Many came back. And I think there are only like one or two that ever wanted to go back to the old Second Corps Hospital. It was so horrible that people coming back for reunions and monument dedications, nobody wanted to go back to the old hospital grounds.
I wouldn't either.
I'll tell you, we talked about this before too. This whole aftermath of battle, and I'm glad it's there. A lot of new ground has been broken about the aftermath of battle, the care of the wounded, because when I started about 25, 30 years ago, I hate to say that, that wasn't a topic that anybody delved into with any kind of vigor. Scholarship didn't do that. It was always, the right flank, left flank, the battle itself and all of that. But one of the things that strikes me from all these hospital descriptions, and one of the things that we can never know, is the way it smelled. And the 19th century was a smelly century.
Yes, it was.
But
Stinks.
they, you could smell, and Cornelia mentions this, the air is so thick, she can hardly breathe.
Ugh.
And the other thing that doesn't always come through is how noisy hospitals were. There's a letter from one of the guards at Camp Letterman in August of 1863. Now, you go into these field hospitals, these guys are all screaming and crying and yelling and hollering. Outside the courthouse, Fannie Bueller's going to remember on Baltimore Street that the courthouse hospital is so loud. These guys are screaming so loud that the band, one of the regimental bands, comes up, stands on the sidewalk, and plays music to kind of drown them out. And a month after, in August of 1863 at Camp Letterman, one of the first-hand accounts, this gentleman writes about, this camp guard writes about, is how noisy Camp Letterman still is.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine.
That's another great question.
I
can't imagine.
Sounds like a hellscape. Just the smells, the sights, the sounds, like every sense offended by something horrendous. Like that's got to be, and these people can go on with their lives after experiencing this stuff is what really astounds me about all of them. Here's something she writes in late August to her mama. She says, I think war is a hellish way of settling a dispute. I agree, Cornelia, I agree. Oh, mercy, the suffering. All the worst are dying rapidly. I saw one of my best men die yesterday. He wore away to skin and bone, was anxious to recover, but prayed he might find it for the best for him to be taken from his suffering. He was the one who said, if there wasn't a heaven, I would go to it, or if there was a heaven, I would go to it. I hope he will get there before I do. I just went over in time to be with him when he died. So, you know, you get to know these guys, these patients, then it just, you know, it's not like someone comes in for having their appendix removed and, you know, they're there for, well, they probably don't keep you overnight anymore for that. But let's say they did, you know, and you're there for a couple of days or whatever. And the nurse gets to know you and you're all friendly and everything. And then you up and leave and you go. Right. But this is like you're meeting him after he received some probably ghastly wound.
And you're taking care of him.
And you're taking care of him in ways that nurses don't necessarily take care of you today. And in some ways that they still do. And then he dies. And he knows he's dying, probably. Or maybe he doesn't, and it surprises all of you, and then just up and dies, right? And this is how many dozens of times, you know, like this is one of the ones that she wrote about.
Mm-hmm.
But how many more were there that she didn't write about where it's just like too much, right? No, of course not. We don't know. So I also like, I forgot where I read it on the other page or not, but she's a character. She is a character.
Yeah, she's a character.
She says here, oh, I know I'm not going to find it now. I should have held on to it while I had it. But, oh, no, here we go. Mrs. Holstein. Who's she?
Oh, Anna Holstein. Anna Holstein is kind of a bigwig, very dedicated nurse. Her and her husband are part of the United States Sanitary Commission. Yes, Cornelia and Anna Holstein have a complex relationship during their service. They will serve together in several hospitals throughout the war. And you can read that quote. Anna Holstein and Cornelia do not get along.
Yeah, to say the least. Here, she talks about her, says, August 31st, she writes to her sister, she says, I like Mrs. Holstein real well. I am most too smart for her. I will get the things for men without orders, and she is a great respecter of rules. I am considered the shiftiest woman on the ground. I like it real well here. Yeah. She's funny.
That's a very complex relationship that is delved into both at Gettysburg and then again at the Depot Hospital at City Point in Petersburg.
What is she talking about here? It says the hospital got so full of women that one had to sit down while the others turned around.
There were more volunteers were coming in.
Okay.
She didn't feel that she was as effective because of it. She wasn't as needed because of it. Her family wanted her to come home. Dr. Child, her brother-in-law, had gone back and forth from Philadelphia to Gettysburg several times, kept checking on his patients. One of his patients is Colonel Colville of the 1st Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And when Colonel Colville is at the Pierce House on Baltimore, when he's ready to be transferred to the hospital in Harrisburg, that is when her brother-in-law comes. He's going to escort Cornelia home. They both go with Colonel Colville as far as Harrisburg to make sure he's comfortable, and then they go on to Philadelphia, and that ends her Gettysburg sojourn.
And now, if you want, when you come here, you can go and visit the historic Popeyes and Aldi's and condominiums at and Giant Supermarket. Where Camp Letterman once stood. So there you go.
So that's all that's left of that hallowed ground.
There is a lot more to this story, to her story. It starts, her Civil War service, I guess I should say, starts at Gettysburg, but as we said, goes to the Grand Review. It's all in the book.
Yes, it is.
And we want people to get the book. And since this is addressing Gettysburg, we're going to stop it at Gettysburg and let you get the book and go on and find out about the rest of her service to the United States Army and the soldiers therein in the Civil War. She is a interesting little gal.
Remarkable person. Her voice is unique because her firsthand accounts are on the spot. Firsthand accounts as events are occurring around her. It's not filtered through the Victorian, flowery language. And she's a very acute observer of the events and people around her.
And she, I think what throws me off a little bit, why I find it so refreshing is because, she comes up as a Quaker. And so, I don't know Quakers. I don't know if I've ever met a Quaker, but my impression of them has always been that they're humorless and, not fun at a party. They don't probably go to parties. I don't know. I've never met a Quaker. I don't know what Quakers are. They make oatmeal. That's all I know about Quakers.
Okay. And oil. Quaker State.
And oil. They were big in the oil business and the oat business. But I know nothing more about Quakerism or Quakerites.
The Quaker.
But she shatters my preconceived notions. Is what I'm trying to say.
Quakers, the reform movements that the Quakers in the United States pioneered are some of the greatest reform movements of the nation. Female suffrage. Both Alice Paul and Susan B. Anthony were Quakers.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. So many of the reform, the abolitionist movement was driven from its beginning right through by many Quakers.
I'm going to have to revisit Quakers.
You'll have to read the book because we do lay a foundation for that.
Okay.
What influences her and
that helps.
And
so the book is available pretty much anywhere you get a book.
Right.
And like I said, if you go to For the Historian here in Gettysburg or at forthehistorian.com, you can get a discount for listening to Addressing Gettysburg. You have to mention Addressing Gettysburg, and please do. I negotiated that discount for you guys for supporting the show years ago, because I appreciate you. So please take advantage of it. You're not doing anybody any favors by not getting the discount. But so you can get it there, Amazon, obviously. Who's publishing it?
Gettysburg Publishing.
Gettysburg
the
Publishing.
Same publishers published the last book.
And the cover looks like it's going to be just as lovely as this one. This, of course, is We Fought at Gettysburg, the old one. I don't want to keep showing that one. Oh, here we go. Here's a nice bigger version. Yeah, it's a nice cover.
Yeah.
Carolyn Ivanoff there, the author and also colorist of that photograph of Cornelia Hancock.
No AI.
No AI used at all.
Appreciate that.
And so get a hold of the book. You're going to be speaking this summer at all?
Yeah,
where are you going to be?
I'm going to be at the book is going to be previewed at the National Civil War Museum.
Up in Harrisburg?
Yes.
All right.
And I'm going to be at the Harrisburg Civil War Roundtable.
Okay, up in Harrisburg.
I'm going to be doing 4 programs in June up in Connecticut.
Okay. We have Connecticut viewers.
And, I'm already booking it.
Where in Connecticut?
2027. Seymour, Connecticut, which is one of my hometowns. And I will be at Old Saybrook. I will be at the West Haven Veterans Museum for the South Central Connecticut Civil War Roundtable.
Okay.
And so there are a bunch of programs on the docket. I've already got 3 programs booked for 2027.
Good.
So I'm hoping that the book is going to bring attention to her, and that I think it's one of the most worthy stories of the war. It's some of the most compelling correspondence of the war. I think a lot of historians quote it, and a lot of people are familiar with it, not because of her, but because many scholars quote what she has to say about what she witnesses.
Yeah. I guess the lesson there is it always pays to speak your own language, right? Like not be like everybody else, because then you leave behind those good accounts that historians will look at for years and years and years. So again, if you were watching our morning drive this morning, don't be like everybody else. March to your own drum. Damn it.
March to your own drum.
That's right.
Or, as she would say, paddle your own canoe.
Paddle your own canoe. Otherwise, you'll be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle.
Well, you're not supposed to let go of the paddle.
No. Especially on Schitt's Creek. Ah, God. All right, Carolyn, thank you very much for coming in.
Matt.
Good luck with the book. Good luck with all the speaking engagements and everything. And I hope you guys go and see her.
Always a pleasure.
Tad, thank you very much for your due diligence on the cameras. Thank all of you for watching. We'll talk to you next time. All right.